Frank, what can you say about Spurs today?
That they showed to the world that they can be consistent, and Ange Postecoglou can use that and use that game to put the big pressure on that team. I always say that life at Tottenham was too easy for the players. We didn't feel the pressure from anybody, the board, the fans, the medias, even the coach. But today, Ange Postecoglou has to use that game as how to find a way again to prove to the world that they can keep on doing that. So the consistency was there, the quality was there, the unity was there. So everything was there, even with players injured. And Craig and Shaka have the right to mention Draguzin, Davis and Vicario, because they've been absolutely fantastic today on top of the others. But what they showed and how they proved to the world again that they could be playing for 90 minutes at that highest level is for an insurance that Ange Postecoglou has to put a pressure he has to put on the players to keep on doing like that.
Can we have just a quick word on City? We talked about a mini crisis. If Liverpool win tomorrow, and that's expected, it's not a given, but it is Southampton, bottom of the league, they could put City away next week, or whenever it is, next weekend at Anfield. Be 11 points.
Yeah.
Does anybody think, do we think City can close 11 points the way they're playing? No. And the way Liverpool are playing?
Well, as Shaka, what happened to him, you know, when they had 14 points ahead, you know, with Newcastle.
All right. Nobody's talking about that, Frank. Nobody's talking about that.
Because previously we've seen how strong they are in the second half. Do you not believe that they could do that with this squad right now, with the way that they're looking, if they were to fall?
Well, there's no. Look, it's all ifs and buts and maybes. Liverpool might drop some points. Who knows? Who the hell thought Tottenham were going to go there today and win 4-0 with the squad they had, the players they had out, and their away form? That's how bonkers it is sometimes. So you just don't know. But if it goes to plan, and then they beat City at Anfield, it's 11 points. That's the way they're playing. This is not the City side of a couple of years ago when they were steamrolling teams. It's just not. I mean, they've only scored 4 goals in the last 5 games. It's not like they're getting beat by the odd goal in 7. You know what I mean? Like 4-3 and 5-4. They're not creating as many chances. They were the ones today that looked a little, not clueless is a strong word for Man City, but lacking guile in the final third as the game went on. And I think that's why the crowd were flat. So, you know, I think if I'm Liverpool, you don't want to get ahead of yourself. You do not want to get ahead of yourself, but it's hard sometimes. You think, we beat them tomorrow, Southampton, and we nail City next week, then they're kind of on the back burner.
Well, I'm glad you did bring City back up, because we need to just mention the Rodri situation. Obviously, we saw him bringing his Ballon d'Or out before the game. There's no Rodri. There was no Kovacic today either, and he could be out for a few weeks. What are they going to do here? Because it can't be the whole season. It's just, oh, there's no Rodri. This is what happens.
Oh, yeah, Kovacic will be back. And by the way, Kovacic has generally done a very good job. He's a good player. I mean, he's played for some of the biggest clubs on the planet. But yeah, I mean, you take Rodri out of any team, and it's a problem. But listen, we're not on the sympathy train here. This is Manchester City we're talking about. This is the best coach on the planet. It's his job now. You know, when things are going great, it's not easy, but it's easier. And when things are going badly, and they are for Man City at the moment, that's the time when you know who's with you and who's not. On the training ground, roll the sleeves up, working hard. Is the manager selecting the right players? Is he going to put, you know, centre-halves in midfield as he has before to try and shore it up? He has to figure that out. There's going to be nobody in England is going to have any sympathy for Man City when it comes to injuries. Absolutely nobody. They've had success. They have a good squad. And like every other side, they have to get on with it. I feel they'll figure it out. But if Liverpool win tomorrow and beat them next week, that is going to be a hell of a mountain to climb if they are going to win the title this year.
Frank, what are you feeling about Man City's midfield struggles?
Well, there is a mix of, for me, some players who are there but still inexperienced, and yes, Rodri absence is a real issue. That's a real issue. We are talking about the best player on the planet in that position. And Kovacic being not there, is also adding issues to Guardiola. He has to find somebody. Maybe he has to buy somebody if needed, if they can, in the winter window. But otherwise, I don't see a player, even if I highly rank Lewis, for example, I don't see a player having not even half of the quality of a Rodri in that team, in that squad. So it's a problem. Maybe Stones can be in the middle. Maybe they can find somebody else. But you can see that there are something not good going on. Walker is not the Walker of before. I can see Guardiola is a good player, but offensively. But you have to secure something defensively. And again, we go back to the basics of what Guardiola was planning on. Being so good offensively that when they lose the ball, they get it back very high, which is not the case anymore. And that's an issue.
Felix, our director, has something that he'd like us to comment on, apparently, before we move on to talk about Arsenal against Nottingham Forest. He's made something for us. What do we think?
Oh.
Is that where Pep is going wrong? He's dressing like Frank.
Yeah, I mean,
Well.
to be fair, you know, if you're a bald man with a beard, there's half a chance you're going to look like those two. You're halfway there.
Who's the better actor? That's what I want to know.